Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras, here with ILTV's Morning Briefing.
Israel has sent its deepest sympathies to Egypt, which is still reeling from the deadliest terror attack ever committed on Egyptian soil in modern history. Over 300 innocent people were murdered in cold blood while praying in a mosque in the Sinai Peninsula, with at least 128 others injured. The Islamic State is believed to be behind this horrific attack, which is shocking not just because of the staggering death toll, but because they targeted an Islamic place of worship. Survivors recall with horror how dozens of alleged ISIS fighters surrounded the mosque while prayer was in session, then launched their ruthless assault using both explosives and gunfire. Israeli lawmakers across the aisle are condemning the cowardly act of terror as, quote, pure evil, and in Tel Aviv, the City Hall building has illuminated with the Egyptian flag, standing in solidarity with the victims. Although Egypt has launched a counterattack, this deadly and tragic event throws the security situation in Sinai into complete crisis as well. The Rafah border crossing between Egypt and Gaza was actually set to open just yesterday, but now Egyptian officials must keep it closed until things return to normal. A Lebanese comedian and actor has just been arrested in his home country, accused of being a spy for Israel. Talk about a triple threat, as this comes at the time when tensions are mounting on Israel's northern border with Lebanon and Syria, and the head of the UN has just warned that a fresh conflict between Israel and Hezbollah may be on the horizon. Ziad Itani has been arrested by Lebanese police on suspicion of spying for Israel, apparently for years now. Arabic media is reporting that Itani has confessed his entire story to the police, which details how an Israeli officer recruited him through Facebook by posing as a beautiful Swedish woman, eventually developing a close relationship over the internet. Itani apparently knew he was being recruited by Israel at some point, because soon they developed daily check-ins using encrypted messages and code words. Police believe he was directed to use his celebrity status to gain information on top Lebanese officials and even create a group of liberal politicians to push public opinion towards friendship with Israel. That would certainly be an interesting objective, considering the head of the UN has just warned that current Israeli-Hezbollah tensions could erupt into war. Meanwhile, on the Syrian front, we're hearing Israel has promised to destroy any Iranian presence in Syria that comes within 40 kilometers of the Israeli border. That's a promise that Syrian President Bashar al-Assad may truly listen to. Word is that he's agreed to keep Iran from the border on the condition Israel doesn't work to remove his presidency. Now joining the list of infamous Colombian drug lords such as Pablo Escobar and La Madrina is Asi Ben Moshe, an Israeli national who's just been deported back to the Jewish state on charges of drug dealing, coercing minors into prostitution, and tax evasion. Colombian officials claim Ben Moshe was, quote, harming the country's security. Ben Moshe was allegedly the head of a hotel spa near the town of Santa Marta in Colombia's north. The spa is said to be the base of his operations for Ben Moshe and his partners, and was also, unfortunately, allegedly quite popular with foreign guests. Moshe came to Colombia following his IDF service and purchased control over the Taganga hotel complex with several business partners. The initial investigation that led to the arrest began nearly a year ago, when a party at the complex got out of hand, prompting officials to launch their covert investigation. The White House is now going back on its decision to close the PLO offices in Washington and has instead issued a list of sanctions that would be lifted from the office after 90 days. The initial closure was due to alleged violations of provisions in U.S. law, preventing the PLO from taking Israel to the International Criminal Court. It seems the Trump administration misunderstood this provision, however, because the 90-day stay of execution is built into it. It states that even with the PA making moves at the ICC, as long as the Palestinian Authority and Israel are found to be working towards an agreement within that 90-day period, then the U.S. cannot close the PA's Washington mission. Regardless of the backtrack, however, a major rift has developed where a promising beginning to U.S.-led peace negotiations has begun to grow. The PA reportedly even threatened to suspend all communications with the United States over the White House's recent choices. With that said, perhaps at the end of the 90 days, the offices will be closed after all, because there are currently no active direct negotiations between Israel and the Palestinian Authority either. According to the latest reports from the IDF, a man who was captured crossing into Israel from Gaza this past September is a member of the Hamas military wing. What's more, he's apparently flipped and provided investigators with vital information on Hamas's terror tunnel operations. Though unarmed when arrested, 23-year-old Ahmad Majdi Muhammad Avid was trained by Hamas since 2013 to be a sniper, anti-tank weapons specialist, and military engineer, among other things. The information gleaned from Avid's testimony led to his indictment in a Beersheba district court in October, but it also very possibly led Israel to the mouth of a tunnel that the IDF destroyed late last month. Military reports show that 14 terrorists were killed either in that blast or during the alleged botched rescue efforts.
That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.